All right, for this one, we're heading to a small Spanish town and stepping right into the shadows. We're gonna uncover a story that completely blurs the line between a local folktale and, well, a terrifying reality. This is the legend of the dead bride of Salabrena. You know, we all love a good ghost story, right? Something to tell when the lights are low. But what happens when the story isn't just a story? What if the setting is a real place you could actually visit? And the ending, well, what if the ending is waiting for you? So to really get how a legend like this can feel so alive, we've got to start where it all began. In this little town with a huge secret. A place that honestly looks like paradise on earth at first glance. Okay, so Salabrena it's like two different towns in one. By day, it's absolutely a dream. You know, the picture. Whitewashed houses, narrow winding streets, all gleaming under the Spanish sun. It's literally a postcard. But then, the sun sets, and everything changes. A weird, unnatural chill just creeps into the air, and this deep, heavy silence falls over everything. The streets, once so full of life, are just empty. You can feel it holding a secret in the dark. And walking right into this strange little town is our guy, Mateo. He's just 19, an architecture student from Madrid, and he's super passionate about this stuff, studying old churches, centuries-old homes. That's why he's here. But it doesn't take him long to notice something's off. Like, really off. The second dusk starts to hit, everyone disappears. They just vanish into their homes. The whole town becomes a ghost town. Every single night. Now, Mateo's a student, right? He's curious, but he kind of shrugs it off at first. Just a weird local quirk. But his little research trip is about to take a very, very dark turn. It starts small, real subtle. He's in his room one night working, and he hears this faint sound, almost like cloth rustling across the stone street outside. So he looks out his window, and way down at the end of the empty street, he sees it. The silhouette of a woman dressed in white. He thinks, okay, maybe it's just another tourist. But in the time it takes to blink, she's just gone, vanished. Then, the very next night, it gets closer. This time, there's proof, clear proof that someone or something was right outside his door. On the totally dry stone path, there are wet, muddy footprints. And they're leading away from his guest house, all going in one very specific direction. Straight towards the old cemetery. So what do? Mateo, driven by this mix of total fear and I have to know, follows the tracks. They lead him into the silent cemetery, right up to this strange broken wedding arch. And there she is, standing right under it, the woman in the tattered white gown. But as he creeps closer, he sees the one detail that makes his blood run cold. Her feet weren't touching the ground. Completely shaken, Mateo knows he needs answers. The next morning, he finds the old caretaker of his guest house, and that's when he finally hears the terrifying legend of Salabrena. So the caretaker tells him this story. It goes all the way back to 1889. A young woman, Isabella Romero, was supposed to marry her love, Javier Morales, right under that same arch. But on their wedding night, Javier was a no-show. Turns out he'd fled town with another woman. Poor Isabella, completely heartbroken, just waited there, all night, in her wedding dress. When dawn came, they found her dead. The locals all say she died of a broken heart. And just like that, the legend was born. The locals call her the Corpse Bride, the ghost of Isabella. They say she still haunts the town, forever waiting for the groom that abandoned her. And now, it looks like Mateo has definitely caught her eye. Okay, so what started as just a creepy thing he saw from a distance has now become way too personal. This is no longer some ghost waiting in a cemetery. Oh no. That very night, the haunting follows him home. First, this weird smell fills his room. It's like wet dirt and old decaying flowers. Then he sees it, a dark shadow creeping under his locked door. The doorknob starts to turn, slowly, impossibly. And just when he thinks maybe it's stopped, he looks at his window, and she's there. Her pale, awful face staring right back at him. Absolutely terrified, Mateo does the only thing he can think of. He runs to the local priest. But after Mateo spills the whole story, the priest doesn't look comforting at all. Instead, he just looks grim and asks one single
chilling question that changes the entire game.
And right there, in that moment, Mateo's heart just drops. He remembers his first trip to the cemetery, before he even knew about the legend. He was just admiring the old wedding arch, and he'd picked up a little bunch of dried flowers that had fallen off. Just a little souvenir. He didn't think anything of it. The priest's explanation is the stuff of nightmares. By taking those flowers, Mateo basically forged a connection with her. The spirit of Isabella now thinks he's her groom, finally come back for her after more than 100 years. And the warning from the priest is crystal clear. You have to leave Celebrina. Not tomorrow, tonight, or she will never let you go. Okay, so total panic mode. Mateo races back to the guest house. He's got to get out. But as he starts to pack, he's about to find out the bride isn't going to let her new groom get away that easily. He's just frantically throwing stuff in his bag when the weather outside just explodes. A violent storm just crashes down on the town out of nowhere. The lights in his room start to flicker, and then die. Pitch black. And then a huge flash of lightning cracks, lighting up the entire room for a single, terrifying second. And she's there. Not outside the window, not in the hallway. She's in the room, standing right in front of him. The old caretaker hears it. I bet the whole silent town heard it. Just one sharp, terrified scream that echoes out. And then it's just swallowed by the storm. By the time the caretaker gets to Mateo's room, it's already over. The story has found its final tragic ending. The caretaker runs in, and the room is just empty. Mateo's bags are half-packed, the window is swinging open, but he's just gone. It's not until hours later, when the storm finally breaks, that the townspeople find him. His body is in the cemetery, lying right under that same broken wedding arch, covered in wet, fresh earth. So you see, Mateo didn't just find a local ghost story, he became the last page. The dead bride finally got her groom. And that leaves us with a really haunting thought, doesn't it? Mateo's story is a chilling reminder that some legends aren't just stories, they're waiting. It really makes you wonder, how many other quiet, postcard perfect towns out there are just hiding a truth that only comes out when the sun goes down?